it is literally the volume and scale of the network that will cause the price to continue to appreciate and grow over time. Now, Ripple holds an escrow of XRP, and they use that token directly in order to facilitate their business at scale. So Ripple is a proxy of XRP, just like a DAT would be. And Brad's even in shareholder emails talked about the valuation of the company if they were to use the DAT ratios that MicroStrategy and BitMine and some of these other DAT companies have used, and it was substantially higher, like $600-700 million or billion-dollar valuation. But that's what they're controlling the full escrow. We know that the Clarity Act, when it passes, they're going to have to reduce their allocation or their total ownership of the token to less than 20% over the next year or 12 months. It's going to be difficult to do as the escrow is controlled by Ripple, and they do have multiple wallets that they could divest or give to other counterparties. I think that they have a plan in place to be able to do that. But all that being said, Ripple's always going to be a proxy for XRP. Ripple shares are never going to be tier 1 collateral. You're never going to be able to get 90 or 100% margin against your Ripple shares. You're not going to be able to use those to back ETF or derivatives. Now, will it trade at a multiple of NAV? It's possible. I would say our company, Digital Ascension Group, is probably a levered play on XRP also, right? So, if you wanted a levered play on XRP, I think Evernorth is probably a better proxy for, getting a 1.2 or 1.5 MNAV versus Ripple, just because, Ripple does hold that on their books, but they're going to have to divest a large portion of the XRP that they currently own over time in order to be compliant. So I think they're both good. I have an allocation to both, and we've done a lot of deals in the mastermind over the years for Ripple equity. I can talk about that because those are closed. But all that being said, I think that both are great opportunities. They'll probably track pretty close, but at different points in time. I think in the short term, as we see the adoption of this network and protocol and the asset itself, it's probably going to outpace Ripple, and then Ripple will probably catch up, and then it'll go back and forth over time.